Hi, and welcome back to Body Beautiful. I'm Janelle Marie. Today we are talking with plastic surgeon Dr. Joseph Mealy, our good friend. Dr. Mealy, hello.
Hello.
And we've been talking about a lot of procedures today. Next, we have facial augmentation, cheeks,
Yes.
noses, and chins. I love this. We haven't done this in a while, so let's get right into the pictures, Doctor.
Yeah.
Let's do the first one. What
Okay.
is going on here in the first picture?
So here we have someone who wasn't truly happy with the nose. She had a little bit of fullness on the dorsum of the nose.
Okay.
And also had a chin that was back a little bit. And that combination makes the nose look bigger.
Yeah.
So what I did is I reduced the dorsum of the nose a bit, turned the tip up a little bit, and then added the chin implant, which altogether makes the nose look smaller.
That is beautiful. And how long a procedure, and what's the recovery on this?
So recovery is pretty quick. The chin is sore. The implant can be placed either through the skin under the chin or through the mouth. Through the mouth, the recovery is a little longer because it's sore when we're eating and talking. Under the chin, usually a couple days.
Fantastic.
With the nose, usually there's a splint on the nose, and that is on for about 6 to 7 days. So there's a lot of explaining to do once the splint's removed. Usually it looks pretty good.
Very beautiful. The after picture is very natural. All right, second picture, and before that, we do have an email here from Mark from Danville, and this fits in with picture number 2. It's Mark wants to know what is the recovery time if he went in for a chin implant, and it looks like you've got number 2 here with a chin implant. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the chin implant, if we're just doing the chin implant, there's no outward splinting or anything.
Oh, good.
If we go under the chin, there's a little piece of tape under there for the first week, and that's just to keep the scar flat and smooth. It's sore. The chin will look a little swollen. So sometimes it looks a little bigger than we want it to for either a few days or a few weeks, and then it settles down. It depends a little bit on the type of implant that's used, but the silicone implants tend to recover very quickly. MedPort implants take a little bit longer. There's some ingrowth that happens, so it takes a few weeks to calm down.
Picture number 2 is beautiful, very natural in the after picture. And a lot of men don't go into their doctor's office saying, I need a chin implant. So what happens? How does somebody know, hey, I really do kind of need an implant there to, balance out my face?
Well, I think with the internet and everything, people do have a little better idea what they look like from the side.
True.
It probably wasn't as true when we only had mirrors, because we're always looking from the
True.
front. And a lot of times what men will do is they'll grow a beard and it hides it.
That's true.
So sometimes we'll just have them keep the beard on while we do the surgery, and it kind of hides the fact that we did the surgery, and then they can shave later.
All right, picture number 3.
Sure, so this is a woman who also had a chin that was kind of flat and round.
Yeah.
And she has a strong face. It's hard to tell from just this limited view, but the chin really didn't match the rest of her face.
Right.
So adding the implant just put it into proportion with the cheekbones, the forehead, everything else that she had going for her.
Looks great. The after picture is wonderful. And let's go into picture number 4 while we talk about this. Do you give them an idea of what they're going to look like with your computers and such to let them know?
I think the computer modeling has actually helped quite a bit, because you can get an idea of what someone is looking for.
Absolutely.
And it's much easier to hit undo than to redo
That's
a
true.
chin implant. So in the last picture, the chin is almost out to the lips, which is kind of ideal for a woman. For a man, usually we go out to the lips. I'll usually start there and see which side looks better for the patient.
And the number 4 picture, that's what you did?
So this is a cheek implant.
Oh, number 4 is
So
a cheek implant. Okay.
The biggest clue is if you look at the lower eyelid, there's a longer lower eyelid before, and then afterwards the lower eyelid kind of blends into the cheek, and that's really a sign of youth. So it's not just about making the cheek bigger or wider or stick out more. It's about blending the cheek into the eyelid so that it looks like one unit again.
Because when you think cheek implants, you think the puffy Hollywood cheek look, right? But that's
Sure.
not at all. That's just filling in kind of the under eye.
No, I probably do this type of cheek augmentation more than just making the cheeks bigger, because it's about facial proportion. And in the case of youth, as we get older, our lower eyelid gets longer and longer. And if we can push that back up, either with fillers or volume or something more permanent like an implant, it really helps.
Let's talk about recovery time on this, because a lot of people have I had a different impression about cheek implants. What's recovery time on this? That looks fantastic.
Recovery time, similar to the others, it's about a week where there's swelling. Sometimes, the swelling takes 2-3 weeks to really get all the way down, but usually by a week it looks pretty normal.
And then you don't feel cheek implants when you get them. They're just normally kind of just feel like your normal face, huh?
They feel like the bone.
Oh, okay.
So basically they're put on top of the bone under the eye.
Gotcha.
So sometimes you can feel the edges of them if you're pushing on there. You shouldn't see them.
Are you going to have a lot of eye bruising?
You can get a dark eye, especially if it's put in through the eyelid. Most commonly, though, it's put in through the mouth, and we don't get a lot of bruising.
And the final picture?
So this is a nose implant. So this is someone who had kind of flattening of the upper part of their nose. We just wanted to add a little bit of volume there, again, to balance the nose. Because before, her nose looks a little scoopy.
Yeah.
The tip looks a little bit big for the rest. And afterwards, I really haven't done much to the tip. It's really just about building the dorsum up to match.
I love that, a facial augmentation.
It's subtle.
It is subtle. Do you use drains with noses and chin implants any?
I do not.
Oh, that's wonderful. So it is, the recovery time isn't as bad as
It-
people think.
It's the funny thing is the facial surgery where you think would be more sensitive tends
Exactly.
to recover faster than things like tummy tucks and breast implants.
I love that. All right. Thank you, Dr. Mealy. Remember, if you want to see any of these before and after pictures easily, go to drmealy.com or you can go to sanfranciscobreast.com. And if you want to call Dr. Mealy's office and get any information, it is 925-943-6353. We will be right back on Body Beautiful.